Hello my beautiful people, welcome you wonderful fire signs to your summer solstice energy update with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you, or shall I say us, on our paths to our highest vibrational good. So let's have a look, see what the summer solstice is going to bring you. So Aries, we're going to start with you as we're kicking off right from the beginning of the zodiac. So what we're looking at here is what you need to release. What is it that you are working on or phasing out at the moment, and what it is that you're welcoming in. We're going to do them the other way around actually. So your first card is going to be about what you're welcoming in over this summer period, and then it's going to be about what you're phasing out or releasing. So what is it that you are welcoming in over the course of the summer, Aries? What is it that you need to know? So the Two of Swords, a period of heightened intuition is entering your life over the course of the summer. Now the beauty of this is, your Two of Swords is about psychic impressions. It's about the delving into your intuition or listening to your gut instinct. Whenever I see the Two of Swords, I'm always reminded that people, this is about making logical decisions, of course. It's the swords, it's the intellect, it's the mind, but it's also about your intuition. And if you see the figure there is actually, it's got a blindfold on. This is about taking the logical mind out of it and delving into the intuition, or allowing those inner senses to speak. So for you, over the course of this summer, what you're welcoming in, Aries, is this heightened awareness, this heightened intuitive understanding, or the building on your intuitive faculties, so to speak. The other thing is as well, I'm getting a message from this card that actually says a lot of you may very well see that in some way, shape or form over the course of the summer, some big intuitive energy or feeling that you had is going to be validated. So what you're releasing or letting go of is the Queen of Swords, right? So what is this? It's the battles, it's the fights that we have, it's the things that we choose to go to war for. Now, as a card of what you're releasing or what you're letting go of, this card also talks about experiences or exchanges of fairness. And to be honest with you, Aries, I feel like this is about you saying to yourself, where is it that I need to be more fair with myself? Where is it that I may have gone in too hard on something that actually doesn't concern me or doesn't really deserve me to stand up with? So what I want to say to you on that front as well, if there is a battle that you have been having, fighting, waging, let's face it, you're an Aries, over the course of the summer, you're being urged to let that go. Maybe it's a battle that just doesn't serve you or isn't going to serve you going forward. So now you're asking yourself that really big question: what is it that I am ready to stop fighting for or over? And sometimes, when you remove your energy from a situation like that, it tends just to fizzle out or die down. So Leo, my ascendant brothers and sisters, let's have a look, see what is it that you are welcoming in over the summer. The Eight of Pentacles. Now this is really interesting, right? Because over the course of the last few weeks, the same sort of messages have been coming up for certain signs. And one of them for Leo is that there is a change of job, there's a change of work, there's a change of avenue, maybe a change of the career. Now, ultimately, you've got Uranus in your sign, which is going to be there in your sign, in your 10th house, right? Which is your career zone, your career sector. It's going to be there for quite some time. So it does suggest that there are going to be big changes in your career sector. Now, the Eight of Pentacles says, over the course of the summer, you are very likely to be working on some new avenue for work, maybe gaining or studying some new qualification that's going to help bolster or, bolster your career, or maybe change the direction of your career. With your Eight of Pentacles as well, it's about honing your craft, right? So the Nine of Pentacles is getting into the details, but the Eight of Pentacles would be the apprenticeship. This is where you're actually going through the motions of gaining, you know, the skills that you need to start becoming proficient at a job. So it looks like you are welcoming in some sort of new work or some sort of, you know, new energy when it comes to work, when it comes to the career. So for what you're releasing or letting go of, you've got the Three of Wands, right? So this is an interesting one because it's about expansion, right? It's about expansion and growth of vision. But because this is what you're releasing, it's this idea that the faster and the bigger you grow, the better, right? It's about releasing this idea. The Eight of Pentacles is about just getting good enough to do the job itself. The Three of Wands is what you're letting go of, is this idea that it's got to be all things right now. It's got to be this big. It's got to be this many people, you know, got to be able to absolutely smash it. It's like, take your time, you know, to get good and to get proficient at anything is about taking your time. So you're being asked to let go of this idea of over aggressive or, you know, overreaching sort of expansion. Now is not the time for you to be thinking overly huge or overly massive. This is the time for you to lay the foundations so that you can get good at whatever it is that you're doing or welcoming in over the summer, so that you can start to maximize on those results later on. Sagittarius, what is it that you are welcoming in over the course of summer? What is the summer energy trying to bring you? The Nine of Cups, it's trying to bring you a heartfelt wish. It's trying to give you some sort of personal, and it is like a personal wish or a desire. Your Nine of Cups is emotional contentment or fulfillment. It's the fulfillment of a wish, something that you've wanted or asked for, maybe something that you've been working on for quite some time. Your Nine of Cups is also about healing. So these are two sort of aspects of something that are coming in for you over the summer. In terms of the healing, this is going to be about you really looking at the journey that you've taken and starting to get a clear understanding of the fact that it's now wrapping up, right? This is about you closing out a specific cycle that you may need to heal from or may have needed to heal in order for it to close down. On the other front, when we're talking about heartfelt wishes, this is about something that truly makes your heart sing. So be open over the summer for all good things to find you. And, you know, it does look like you will be surprised when it does. Maybe this is something that you have been waiting on for some time. And then finally, for what it is that you're releasing, you've got the Eight of Cups. So look at that. You've got kind of like it's interesting because everybody else, Aries has got quite a good balance, Sagittarius has got quite a good balance, and then it's Leo coming into their own sort of height of their own season, and it looks like you've got your nose to the grindstone. But Sagittarius, with your Eight of Cups, what this is saying to you is this is about where you release those power struggles. This is about where you release the power games. Anyone or anything that has tried to keep you in that experience of you know, having to, not necessarily even having to fight for something. It's more a case of having to justify something. This is about removing that energy. It's about releasing that idea or that imposition that somebody is, you know, somebody, something or someone external to you is kind of saying, well, this is how it should be, this is how you should show up. And it's kind of like your energy is kicking back to say, actually, no, it doesn't. You know, I'm not going to go into that whole needing to justify myself. My actions speak for themselves. My words, you know, Sagittarius, say what you mean what you say. And that is very much the Sagittarian energy, which is why I think a lot of people kind of get really like, they're like, oh, that was a bit feisty. And it's like, no, they tend to just deal with the facts and the truth of it. So when it hits, especially if it is something that you've tried to personally ignore, it kind of hits on that really deep level. Sagittarius is, you know, one of the signs of truth. You know, that's what the rule of Jupiter is all about. But that Eight of Cups is, it really is time for you to let go of this idea of needing to justify things. Now, when you get a sequence of numbers like this, it does mean that there is something evolving, but it also, because these numbers kind of go backward, right? So it means that this is about you wrapping up a larger cycle. This is about you know, you're welcoming in something that you've wanted for a long time, something that you have maybe dealt with for a long time as well. There's going to be a flipping of that energy, but it does look like you're phasing something out for it. Overall, let's pull a key to the season sort of energy. Fire signs, you get the Hanged Man, right? So this is not a time for not even necessarily overdoing anything. It's just a time where you are supposed to not go through the motions, but you're supposed to just show up. Don't try to do more than is necessary. Don't try to get away with cutting corners. This is a time where if you show up as you truly are, where you're willing to surrender to the way that things actually are, not how you would like them to be, actually you will arrive at the place that you're supposed to be in all good timing. Remember as well, the Hanged Man is all to do with spirituality, and it's also about where it is that you understand you could or should be more self-sacrificing. And that's not necessarily always like an imposition. Sometimes it's just understanding what we have to give up in order to gain what it is that we truly want. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.